Hi everyone and welcome back. Today we are going to make some flaxseed wraps, which I have been obsessed with for the past few months. I have them for breakfast or for a quick lunch because they are really easy to make and so delicious. So let's get into the recipe. First up, we'll need to grind some flax seeds. I'm using golden flax seeds, which is just my preference. There's nothing wrong with brown flax seeds. In fact, I have made a couple of flax seeds tortillas with the brown flax seeds, which you will see in the taste test at the end of the video. Add the flax seeds to a high-speed blender or a coffee grinder and grind them until you have flaxseed flour, also called flaxseed meal. The next ingredient is water. The important step here is to use hot water. If you use cold or lukewarm water, the flaxseed dough will be really hard to roll out and the final wraps will be quite stiff. I'm adding a little bit of salt to the water, but you could also add some herbs or spices if you wanted to flavor the wraps. Add the flaxseed meal to the boiling water and mix it until the flaxseed meal forms a dough ball. Now, at this point you might be thinking there's no way this is going to work, but trust me, it will. When the dough is cool to touch, break it into 4 pieces and start rolling each piece out. The easiest way to roll the dough out is to use 2 pieces of parchment paper, one on the bottom to keep the dough from sticking to the rolling surface, and one on the top to keep the dough from sticking to the rolling pin. The thickness of the final wrap should be about 1/16 of an inch. To make a perfectly round wrap, place a round bowl on top of the rollout dough. I'm using my food processor bowl because it was the perfect size, and cut around the edges. Transfer the flaxseed wrap onto a preheated pan and let it sit for about 40 to 60 seconds, depending on your pan and heat. The wrap might form little bubbles, which you can press down with a spatula. Flip and cook the other side. I use all kinds of fillings for these flaxseed wraps, savory, sweet, but in this video I'm gonna show you one of my favorite combinations. I spread a little bit of sprouted hummus on about 2/3 of the flaxseed wrap. Then I layer some leafy greens. Sometimes I use lettuce, sometimes I use spinach, whatever I have in the fridge at the moment. Next, I have a few slices of avocado, carrots, and sprouts. And that's it. Delicious flaxseed wraps that are tender and soft from the flax seeds, crunchy from the vegetables, and so easy to make. I have to admit that I'm pretty lazy when it comes to making pantry foods like crackers or tortillas. But it's a completely different story with these flaxseed tortillas because they're so easy to make. And honestly, I love the feeling of knowing that all I am eating is just ground flax seeds and water. Now for this taste test, I made two types of tortillas. So my tortilla is made from golden flax seeds and I wrap it into a burrito. Now Tana's tortillas are made from brown flax seeds and I made them into quesadillas. And I'm very curious to see what Tana has to say about it because he doesn't usually eat flax seeds.
I would never know. I suspect that I'd be able to tell that these are a little bit more rigid than a normal tortilla shell. So the flour-water combination that you normally have is quite flexible. There's lots of gluten in it, so it's more chewier. This is still chewy, but it's the flavor is like 60% whole wheat or premium plus crackers. That's the best way I can describe the flavor. So it's in the background. It's not really a prominent flavor. You don't really notice the tortilla shell, which is probably important in a tortilla if you ask me. Yes.
Yeah, and I would say for the texture that these are, I would say that they're more like pliable, and as Tana said, because there's no gluten, they're a little bit softer and not as chewy, but they still hold together really well. Whatever you stuff in them, they're not breaking apart, they're not tearing apart, so in that way they're really good.
Yes, I'm going to thoroughly test them once this video is over and finish this whole plate, and it's delicious. Obviously that's a good sign that I'm wanting to have more and more. I would really recommend it. I think it tastes probably better than the fermented flour flavor. I don't really like that sourdough almost flavor you get from normal tortilla shells, so this is better.
Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.